Greetings, redheads. Thank you for joining me in another episode of your favorite show, the one, the only Red's View. Of course, I'm here. I'm your gracious host, Jay Red, and I'm doing a solo show today. So everybody feel free to comment, like, subscribe. Please hit that like button before I begin this live broadcast because when you hit the like button, it helps the algorithm out and we get more viewers, more participants, and everything like that. So if you're watching on Facebook, as usual, hit that like button and also hit the share button. It doesn't cost to share. Also, if you're watching this on Twitter right now, make sure that you retweet. Do me a favor and retweet that. And if you're watching it everywhere else, make sure you do the same thing. All right. Um, Everybody hopefully has been having a productive week. I'm here once again. I told you we are live 8:30 every Tuesday. We try to do every Tuesday the most that we can so we can chop it up, man. Hopefully, like I said, everybody's having a productive week. And if you have not already, look down here and make sure you subscribe to the channel, which is youtube.com/RedsView. All right, man. First, before I begin, there was a shooting in Jacksonville at a Dollar General. So I want to give a big RIP to the individuals that lost their lives in this racist attack. It was a white supremacist actually who did the shooting. He actually, I think, had a manifesto and everything like that. And one thing, a message I want to put out there for all my people: these white supremacists and suspected white supremacists, they are upset for taking that L, that ass whooping they had in Montgomery, Alabama. Best believe that. So there's going to be some retaliation. You know, it may not be as soon as you think, but stay dangerous. That's all I gotta say. Stay dangerous because they don't like taking L's. So be very cautious, black people, when you walk around, man. It's devastating what happened, but they were going to retaliate. You know, it's all fun and games. They deserve to get their asses beat, but best believe they don't like those images going around showing black people putting in work and showing that unity. So we need to keep that energy up. And I said that on my other previous videos before, that keep your energy up and stay safe. And I say stay strapped because you never know. You never know when a mass shooting can happen. And I'm sure those folks in Florida didn't know because this happened in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm quite sure them folks were going into the Dollar General acting like nothing's happening or whatever. And he just came in blasting. So RIP to them. And my people, we need to stay dangerous, right? Super unfortunate, but more of that could be coming. So make sure that you stay ready for that. All right. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. All right. And another thing I want to do, man, before I begin, I'm a wrestling fan. Let me know if you're a wrestling fan in the comments. RIP to Bray Wyatt and the legendary Terry Funk. Those are two wrestlers that lost their lives. They passed away. One of them was tragic, Bray Wyatt. I'm not sure what happened with Terry Funk. But for those who watch wrestling, you grew up watching WWE, WWF, WCW, NWA, all that stuff, man. Send a big RIP, deepest condolences to Bray Wyatt. He actually suffered from a heart attack. We didn't even know. I didn't know he had heart issues and everything like that. But for all my WWE fans, we've been mourning the loss of Bray Wyatt. So shout out to that good dude, man. I enjoyed watching Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk. But those deaths happened back to back. So RIP to them, man. Y'all give me a second. Make sure I plug everything up. But yeah, man, it's been a lot, man. I actually found out somebody I knew, one of my old coworkers, had passed away. So it's been a lot. It's been a lot of deaths this past week. So RIP to everybody, man. All right, so I want to talk about this because we got some stuff to talk about tonight. So the first thing that we're going to talk about, J. Cole. Now, why are we talking about J. Cole? As you see, the title says, has J. Cole been on a decline? Has J. Cole been on a decline? What do you mean by that, J. Red? Well, let me tell you. All right, so this past week, I think it was Friday, J. Cole hopped on a track with Gucci Mane. J. Cole hopped on a track with Gucci Mane, and it's called There I Go. Have y'all heard it? For anybody watching right now, did you hear the track that J. Cole did with Gucci Mane? If you did, you can give it a thumbs up in the comments or a thumbs down. It's all good. All right. So They dropped a single. Mike Will made it. Literally, Mike Will made the beat. And I heard it, and it just made me think. Like, I was like, I don't think the song was bad. Um, I just think that the song will be forgettable, and it's an insignificant feature for J. Cole, which led me to have this discussion tonight. And we ain't gonna spend all night talking about it, but I just want to start it off with this. Has he been on the decline? Now, before I get in and start critiquing J. Cole, I want a disclaimer out there. All the J. Cole fans, listen, I am a J. Cole fan myself. I've been listening to J. Cole since like 2009. I listened to the Come Up, the Warm Up, Friday Night Lights. I was one of the first ones to buy the Cold World Sideline Story. I was anxious to get that album. Bought Born Center, Forest Hill Drive. Listen to all his albums, right? So I'm a big J. Cole fan. However, I am an artist myself, and I am a critic, and I don't let up on anybody. So this is everything I'm about to say is out of love and out of challenging J. Cole to do better. All right. This isn't trying to hate on J. Cole, trying to talk shit about J. Cole. And if J. Cole, you're watching this is just criticism. It's just constructive criticism. That's it. And I feel like J. Cole probably watches this because he spends his spare time looking up, different artists that have got music out there. A lot of these artists, even though they're not heavy on social media, they pay attention to what's going on. So what I'm talking about is like I said, this Gucci Mane collaboration. I feel like, and let me know if I'm tripping. After Forest Hills Drive, J. Cole has been on a decline. Now, I'm not saying that J. Cole has been putting out trash or anything of the sort, but I feel like he, at this point, feels like an average rapper now. Now, is he one of the dopest rappers that are out? Yeah, absolutely. But in this climate, I feel like J. Cole should be going left when everybody else is going right. I feel like J. Cole should be trend setting instead of adapting to the trends. It feels like once KOD came out, it feels like he wanted to adapt to the sound of what was out versus Kendrick Lamar and different people of that nature wanted to do what they wanted to do. Now, they were able to fit the mold, and I'm not mad at J. Cole for trying to adapt to the current sound and appeal to the younger audience. However, what we love J. Cole for before all of that, right? He reminded us of the 90s. He reminded us of a Nas, right? He reminded us of a Tribe Called Quest. He reminded us of the Lyrical Cats. The back, he was I guess you can call him backpack rapper, whatever like that, but we've always been rooting for him because he was a breath of fresh air when he came out. But it feels like in the recent years, he's been on a decline. Now, his music, like I said, has not been trash. But you look at Forest Hill Drive. First of all, when I say Forest Hill Drive, I feel like it's a hip-hop classic album for sure. But that's the album that I feel like everybody wanted from J. Cole initially. That's what I wanted. I wanted that album to be his debut album. Now, we had Cold World Sideline Story, which was cool. It was something to listen to, but that felt like a mix-up album, taking different songs that he had already previously. It felt like 4 or 5 of those tracks was on his mixtapes or whatever, right? So we had Cold World Sideline Story. Born Center was solid, but it didn't have that much replay value. It was like, okay, he's going. And then he hit a home run once he put out Forest Hills Drive. And that's when the whole industry, he already had big numbers before that, but that's when he just solidified himself as being like one of the dopest artists that's out, right? But it feels like that was his peak musically, because it felt like at that time he's like, I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna put out this music. He didn't even have no promo for it. It's just I think he announced it like a week before or the week of, and it was just that's when he started dressing regular. How he wanted to do. He started growing his hair out, and we all felt J. Cole. So that was his peak. But then after that, he puts out For Your Eyes Only. Let me know in the comments right now how you feel about For Your Eyes Only. When I first heard it, of course, I'm like, okay, bet. But it was only like 5 full songs on there, and those songs were okay. I like Neighbors, and I would have liked the Deja Vu song, but Bryson Tiller had already used that sample, and we already was accustomed to hearing that, so that was a dud. But it still was a good song. But 4 Years Only really let a lot of folks down. And then fast forward to KOD. Now, KOD, like I said, that was his it was a creative album, but it fell short in a way. It was cool. It was good for the couple of months that I was listening to that was out. But I like after a couple of months of listening to it, I never felt the need to go back and listen to it. He has some bangers on there, but it felt like, okay, he's trying to adjust to the sound. This is cool, right? But after that, he puts out, I think a couple of years later, Middle Child. And Middle Child isn't one of my favorite J. Cole songs. I think that it was hard, but it was for the younger generation, I feel like, or the current generation that was out, more so than his traditional fan base. So it felt like J. Cole was alienating his fan base in a way. Like I said, it was Middle Child was still good, but that's when I noticed a shift. And after that, he started changing up his flow. And then honestly, when Off Season came out, I heard it, listened to it through and through probably like twice, and never went back to listen to it again until the other day, because I'm making the show about it today. So I feel like he's been on that decline. Forest Hill Drive was up there, and that's the album we were waiting for, and we're expecting more albums like that. But it feels like right now J. Cole is adapting to what's out, adapting to the sound, and that's not what we like J. Cole for. J. Cole was going left when everybody else was going right. And I understand you want to appeal to everybody. All the greats have done it, but they've done it in a way to where they didn't alienate their fan base. It's at a point right now, if J. Cole puts out a project, I'm not in a rush to listen to it because he let me down the past couple of albums, especially Off Season. And I gave him a little leeway on that because he kind of promoted it like it was a mixtape, but there's not one song on Off Season that I went back and listened to. Not one. Like it was cool, like I said, for the first listen, but I feel like he's been on the decline. And J. Cole, if you're listening, this is a challenge for you. You need to be trend setting instead of adapting to the trends, right? And when I say trends, I'm talking about the sound of music, his flow. I want the warm-up J. Cole. I want Friday Night Lights J. Cole. I want Forest Hills Drive J. Cole. That's what I want right now. You've already showed that you can hang with the youth. You've already went on tour, had Young Thug with you, have Lil Baby on your tracks, 21 Savage. You killed that. We know that you can do it. But we want trend setting now, or the game is going right, you going left. If you got an album dropping this year, please don't let it sound like anything that's out right now with the flow and everything. I want you to go back and find the essence of when you first started rapping or when you first started putting out mixtapes, because that's what the game is missing right now. All right. Let me know in the comments if I'm tripping. If you feel the same way that I do, hit that like button or comment. Let me know if I'm wrong. Like I said, I am a J. Cole fan. And I talked about this Gucci Mane track because I just don't feel like, while that was a cool collaboration, like I'm like, but is it necessary? Now I understand if Gucci Mane wanted him on track. There's nothing wrong with J. Cole collaborating with Gucci Mane, but it feels like something that goes against, like it kind of alienates his fan base, in my opinion. And we're not going to be talking about this track years from now. And I feel like an artist of his caliber, he needs to be collaborating with people that will make a stamp in his career and be selective, like Jay-Z was selective. Jay-Z wouldn't have did no track with no Gucci Mane. Now I could see, of course, Jay-Z did a track with Future. J. Cole could do the same thing, but it's like, okay, we seen, with Lil Baby, Young Thug, and all that other stuff, which was cool. But it feels like you're overdoing it now. And I think I'm like everybody, I could be alone in this, but I'm at a point where I want J. Cole to trend set instead of adapting to the sound, adapting to the trends. But yeah, man, that's why I feel like J. Cole has been on the decline. Now, he hasn't fell off. He's just been on the decline musically. He can still rap his ass off. He can still make some catchy songs. We know that. But I want to get that essence and that feeling I had. I was listening to Forest Hills Drive today. That album was banging, still go hard. But he's not made an album like that since then. And it's been years. So J. Cole, I'm challenging you, bro. I look up to you as an artist, and I want you to do better. Please push the culture forward. Right now, you're not pushing the envelope. You're just staying stagnant. And yeah, you got your fan base and your core fans already that fuck with you, they love you, and they're all always gonna support you. And you got the younger kids that probably like you too. But now it's time to be on some Kendrick Lamar shit. You know what I'm saying? Like now it's time to be more strategic. Not trying to put you against Kendrick, but Kendrick is still rapping like that MC I like. Now I didn't like his last album he just put out, but I think it just dropped at the wrong time, right? But that's how I feel about it. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/ResView. All right, y'all. So let's move on. Let's talk about this. Brittany Renner. Your girl Brittany Renner had a meltdown on this podcast. I forgot the name of the podcast. Please forgive me. But yeah, man, Brittany Renner, obviously she looked like she was on a narcotic or drunk or something like that. Now, I'm going to play these clips so you can see exactly what happened, which they are fair use, by the way. And then I'm going to give my assumption on what it is. Like, not even assumption. Like, I'm going to give my feedback on why she acted in this way. Now, y'all should be familiar, very familiar who Brittany Renner is. But look at this erratic behavior from Brittany Renner. All right? Look at this. Fair use. Hold on a second. Let me get this off. This thing's tripping. All right, there we go. All right, here we go.
Up when I'm talking. Because if you ever felt real love to where you have a motherfucking second-degree tear, hello?
Wait.
He didn't mean it. Hello?
He didn't mean it.
Oh, shit.
Hello? You don't know what it's fucking like.
Oh, shit.
I'm sorry. I meant to hit this nigga.
Wrong guy.
Let me tell you something.
Wrong guy,
Shut the fuck up. This right here is about to go. Let me tell you something.
All right, so apparently, and I was watching this. They asked about her baby daddy, PJ Washington, and I think she had to, I don't know, have a C-section or something like that, but she had trouble with the birth, and this set her off, and she threw a bottle. Let's keep watching this meltdown.
We good.
Shut up when I'm fucking talking. Yo, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hit you. I meant to hit that nigga. Cause you sitting over here.
All right, let me speed it up a little bit.
Is it not? Is it not? Is it not?
She hit the wrong nigga.
Hey, don't be sitting over here laughing. Let me tell you, I ain't talking to you. I ain't talking to him right here. I ain't talking about. Then bat me in my shit. Then
Chap, she cool.
bat me in my shit.
Apologies, Chap.
Bat me in my shit.
All right, so she's getting into it. She's getting into it, and that's Charleston White sitting on the side of her. I don't know who these other guys are, but let me show you what really went viral. Hold on a second. Let me pull this up. When she really just lost it. Hold on. Let me go back. Let me exit out this. And let me find the clip. It's a clip she had where she really, when she started doing like a lap dance and all that other stuff. Let me see if I can find the reel. Okay. Look at this.
Did nothing for that.
Oh, let me get a close up. Let me get a close up because she wild. And look at let me see what's a good one. All right, look at this.
It's uncomfortable to be wet.
Is it?
Yeah. I've never been wet before, but yeah, I'm sure it's uncomfortable to be wet.
You know, moist is one thing, but wet is just another. It ain't what we shooting for. You know what I mean?
You hear what?
Isn't that
Miss Ma'am.
No.
No, come on, please. Come on, man, please.
No.
Come on, man, please.
Look at what she's doing.
And respectful to my guests. Oh, where that pig poker at, man? Go ahead and get the pig poker out.
See, Charleston resisting, and she just popping it on him, giving him an unwanted lap dance.
Wait a minute. I did nothing for that. Oh, that's wait a minute, Miss Renner, Miss.
It's uncomfortable to be.
See, and look at this.
Part 2 of the Brittany Renner video. She was very intoxicated. She started dancing on Charleston White, and you could tell Charleston White wasn't really okay with this, but he couldn't really do much because she was drunk and she was hitting people. So he just kind of went
So
along
you
with it. You
see,
could tell he's not really enjoying himself. So it's kind of funny. But this is part two.
all right, yeah, man. So that's your girl, Brittany Renner. All right, so obviously something's going on with her. Some people saying that she was on the booger sugar. Some people say she was coked up. Some people said that she was drunk. The real thing is this. So the first thing I wanted to point out, this would have been in reverse, right? Let's gender shift. If that would have been a man that did that, what you think would have happened, right? She forcefully gave Charleston White an unwanted lap dance. Charleston White tried to play it cool, but she gave him a lap dance, popping on him, yelling at people, throwing bottles, threw water on the host, poured water on Charleston White. So yeah, and she had a slurred speech. I don't know if she was drunk. I don't know if she was on. Something was up. She was on something, some type of substance, some type of alcohol, whatever it is, right? But I saw a lot of people saying, well, they let her get away with that because she's pretty, and that's a girl that they attracted to, and all this other stuff. And I'm like, well, what do you expect for Charleston and them to do in that situation? Even if it was an ugly girl, say that they would have said, no, stop this, like, get off of me, or pushed her off or anything like that, then everybody would have been talking shit about them. They would have been saying, oh my God, why they have to go at her like that? Obviously she was drunk, obviously she was on drugs, whatever the case may be. So it was a damned if you do, damned if you don't thing. I think Charleston White and the host, they played it as smooth as they could, because it was a dude in the background, the champ. I don't know what he's a champ for. They kept saying champ, but he was going off on her, saying I don't hit women and all this other stuff. But what was Charleston White supposed to do in that situation? The best thing that could have happened, because I was asked today if that was me and DJ PM and that's our podcast, and she did the same thing to us, what we would have done. And I would have just told them to cut the cameras off and stop the podcast. That's the best thing they could have done. Obviously, I'm seeing this woman is on something, and I don't want to embarrass her, but not only embarrass her, but embarrass my podcast, my platform, so I would have told them to do that. I would have told them to cut off the cameras and everything like that, but they let it keep going because now that was an uncomfortable situation for Charleston, and she forcefully, put herself on Charleston. He kept saying, no. So look at this. An out of control woman. And, she shouldn't get a pass for this. And I talked to PM today. He talking about she was acting. This woman wasn't acting. But one thing I want to point out is this about the Brittany Renner situation. This is the result of the hot girl summer, OnlyFans, getting money off of men type. This is what it is. These women are unhappy. These women are very unhappy. Brittany Renner just showed the world what these single women think, how these single women feel, these baby mamas feel, these modern women. This is how the modern women feel at night when they're alone, when the camera is off. See, the substance that she was on, or the liquor she was on, just brought it out. But these women really feel how she displayed it, all belligerent, yelling stuff, throwing bottles and stuff like that. That's because she's unhappy. Let me ask you something. Just because she got millions of followers and she's beautiful, well, to certain people, she's beautiful, got an amazing body. Do you think that a woman who is unmarried, that has a baby daddy, that she says that ain't shit, that is not married, do you think that she's happy in how she's moving in life? Let me know that. Shout out to DB. You said B is wild, and I hope she gets better. And this isn't talking shit about Brittany Renner. It's just saying what is the obvious. Brittany Renner just showed the world how these modern women really feel. When I say these modern women, the ones that be having this hot girl summer, living off of the men and having babies by the NBA players, like all this stuff, all of this toxic behavior that we see on social media, ladies, this is the result of that. This is the result. She just displayed it because she was on something, on the narcotic, drinking, whatever. But she obviously got some mental illness going on. You can see it. And of course, we can say, yeah, she needs to get help and all that other stuff. I hope she gets help, the help that she needs. But that was a cry. That was an outcry for attention. But it goes to show you everything that you see, because she appears to be happy, got a lot of money and all this other stuff. But inside, this is how she feels. Brittany Renner just showed you everything, how these women be feeling. Like I said, like, look at her. She done wrote books calling out Colin Kaepernick and different male celebrities. Why? Let me ask you this. Why do you think she's not wifed up right now? Why do you think she's a baby mama? Let's be real. Why do you think she's in the position she's in right now? Do you think that a man of value wants a Brittany Renner? No disrespect, but look how she carries herself. Look at that. Do you think that a man, there's a reason that she's not married? As beautiful as she looks, as sexy as she is, as healthy looking as she is, why doesn't she have a husband? You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of men who think that she's a dime, she's athletic and all this. Then why isn't she married? Do you think that somebody wants that? See, she showed you how she really is. It's a reason she's been a bust down in the industry, and this isn't talking shit about her. This is what it is. She'll tell you that. But there's a reason why, and we just saw it displayed right there. Right there. So, ladies, it looks good on paper. It looks good on social media to carry yourself like a hot girl, to have an OnlyFans, to get all this social media attention, to be fit, beautiful, and all this other stuff. Now, you should be fit and beautiful. But if you act in an erratic behavior, popping it on random guests in front of a camera, and I bet you what she's going to do is say, y'all, I got mental issues or whatever the case may be. And then, of course, we're going to forgive her and all this other stuff. But this is the result, ladies, in particular, Black women. Don't be like a Brittany Renner. She is unhappy. That is an unhappy woman. And you can't tell me otherwise. Let me know if y'all think I'm tripping, but there's a reason, like, women like that. When you look at these women, and especially they like 30 plus, and all you see what they have to show for it is their body on social media. Take a look at Brittany Renner and her behavior on this podcast, throwing water on people, yelling at people, shut up while a real bitch is talking, or whatever she was saying. This is the result of that, and like I said, there's a reason that she's a baby mama. She's not married. She just showed it right there. But yeah, man, I hope she gets the help that she needs, because obviously it's a mental thing going on. And it was a cry for attention, but I think it's something deeper than that. But speaking about a cry for attention, your girl Sexy Red and Suki Hana, I was supposed to talk about this last week, but we had so much stuff to talk about that I didn't get to this. Is Suki Hana and Sexy Red paid to push the ratchet agenda? Now, I've made several videos discussing the ratchet ass BET or EBT awards that we had. I've talked about Sexy Red. I've talked about Suki Hana, but they've been in the news again because they released some new music. And I'm not gonna play the full. I'm gonna play the video, but not the sound, because I don't want to get a copyright strike. But look at this. Just look at this hood, ratchet, toxic Black woman behavior. Look at this. Rapping in front of Popeyes. And there's a reason that they're doing that, by the way. Look at what Sexy Red got on. Look at Suki. The lyrics that they're doing is it's so terrible. Like, oh man, this is where we're at, Black women. And from my understanding, that's a transgender back there with the BBL. But this is where we at, Black women, in the culture. And when I tell you they weren't talking about shit on this record, it was embarrassing to listen to. But anyway, we stop sharing that. Are they paid to push this ratchet, toxic behavior? Now, thing is, I would call them industry plants, but I don't feel like they're industry plants. I think Sexy Red just ended up going viral, which is something that can happen. I ain't gonna say it's easy to do, but her song went viral and it was a joke. And then Suki Hana, she's been around for a minute. Now, she hadn't been making music the whole time, I don't think, but I know she's been around since at least 2015. But anyway, the reason I'm saying they're paid to push this ratchet agenda is simple question. Who is their fan base? Who is the fan base of Suki Hana and Sexy Red? Now, when I'm asking that, I know that there are ratchet people out there. I know it's women out there that don't care or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of women who are like Sexy Red and Suki Hana, right? But not in large bulk. You got hood rats out there and stuff like that. But think about it, man. Like, who are they really catering to? Because they don't have a core fan base because they don't sell records. Just because you may see that they got millions of followers and millions of views, that can be fabricated. That can be adjusted to make them appeal or appear as if they're these top big name celebrities. Suki Hana dropped a project and that thing flopped. Like, I think that thing had like 2,000 copies the first week or something like that. But who actually supports them in large bulk? Look at where they perform. Sexy Red and Suki Hana don't perform by themselves going on tour. They pop out on these festivals where it's already thousands of people in attendance. And of course, if I already been paid $200 to see a whole bunch of artists and they just happen to come out there, and if they got a song that's cool, I may turn up to it. But they're getting paid to push this ratchet, toxic ass agenda. And it's very obvious because, like I said, who is their core fan base? Who are they actually doing it for? Because it ain't to me and it ain't to other women I know. My coochie pink, my booty hole brown. Who is that marketed to? Suki, because it's not talent. They're not talented. You know what I'm saying? Like Megan Thee Stallion, even though I'm not a fan of her music, I still think that she's talented. Cardi B, I'm not a fan of her music. She doesn't write her music, but she's still talented in the skill set of being able to rap it, right? But Sexy Red has no type of stage presence, no type of artistry, no type of anything. But her song was a joke and it happened to blow up, but they're milking her to push. Look at what she wears. A big ass chain with a wife beater and some jeans and some J's. Like, come on. At least Suki Hana be dressing up a little bit. Sexy Red just look disgusting. And she's filthy looking. Look at what she promotes. Had STDs, going on Raw, the Raw Dog Queen, always talking about sex, always doing that. I know her name is Sexy Red, but look at how they're marketed and promoted. Because it's women out there that have always talked about sex. Like Megan Thee Stallion does it, Cardi B, they had WAP, but that hadn't been their only thing per se. I know Megan twerks, but Megan never had a song as simple as my pussy pink, my booty hole brown. And that was it. That was the whole song. You know, even though I feel like she gets pushed too, but the ratchet, toxic ass behavior is getting pushed by the white media. And we need to do a good job of not letting our kids be influenced by it. Now, I know kids are going to be seeing what kids are going to see and all this other stuff, but you got to get control of your environment and realize when you're getting forced upon. And that's what it is. You know, I just shake my head at it because I know that that's really not where we're at. We're not really supporting that. That's just getting pushed on us. This whole Suki Hana, Sexy Red type of stuff, because it just started happening this year. If you notice, it's been leading up to it. But for someone like a Sexy Red to dress in the way she does, I just saw her funny Marco interview, which is funny. But look, just tats on her face and all this other stuff. That's being pushed, man. She don't really have a fan base. She don't have a fan base. She's getting pushed. She's getting pushed by the white media to rap in front of Popeyes. How stereotypical is that? Rapping in front of Popeyes about how much dick you get, what your pussy is like, what it smells like, and all this other stuff. So, thumbs down to them. And I'm mad that they're even participating in it, but that's where we're at right now. You gotta know what you're being marketed to and what's being forced upon. But let me know if y'all seen that video, man. It's disgusting. And like I said, it's no talent. It's no talent, no skill set. They literally just put something out and it's getting promoted on everywhere to show how toxic they could be to the black community. But, you You got to be able to not support that. We need to not condone that. All right, so let me move on, man. Your boy Burner Boy. Burner Boy says that Afro beats have no substance. Let me show that video. When he said that, I was like, All right, listen to this. Hold on, let me turn this up because I think I turned the other video down. All right, let me turn this up. Let me see if this play. Oh, it's not playing. Why now? Why it ain't playing right now? Y'all give me a second.
Down for us.
All right, so that was
Afro.
all right. So where is it at? Here.
Why you hear most of Nigerian music, or I would say African music. I don't even know what to say. Afro beats, as people call it. It's mostly about nothing. Literally nothing. There's no substance to it. Like nobody's talking about anything. It's just a great time. It's an amazing time. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, life is not an amazing time. Do you know what I mean? No matter how nice you want of a time you're having now, or you had at some point, or you plan to have, why you hear most of.
Oh yeah. All right. So that's what he said, y'all. He said Afro beats. My bad, it was still playing on my end. But yeah, he said Afro beats have no substance. Do you agree with that? I mean, when you think about it, he ain't lying. I mean, when Afro beats come on, it's the beats. The beat is what makes you feel like a good time. You hear somebody dun 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 dun. It's like that's what it sounds like to me. It's catchy to hear. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's is that Afro beats? I don't know, but that Afro beats is a nice little do. And it don't. I mean, even if it did, you wouldn't be able to understand it. So it was people that were upset about that. You know, of course, he received some backlash, but you know, it's a feeling. Afro beats is a feeling. That genre is a feeling, and the feeling is just a nice vibe. It don't have any substance when you really, really think about it. Like, besides probably like some love songs, like some love type of stuff. But as far as substance in it, I mean, quote me a lyric from an Afrobeat song. Like, you could sing the hook probably from it, but can you quote me a lyric that really stands out on the Afrobeat song? You know what I'm saying? Like, Afrobeats doesn't have substance when you really think about it. And you know what? And I think that the reason that genre is as big as it is now is because we just came out of a pandemic, you know, not too long ago. Now, 2020 was a while ago, but 2021, we were still going through it. And some people still feel like we are in a pandemic, but people want to feel good right now. You know, we were locked in the house for some time. You know, we were in the house, stuck in the house, and social distancing and all this other stuff. So when you get out of a pandemic, you want to have a nice vibe. So when you go to brunch or you go out to a club or a party and stuff like that, when that Afro beats come out, it just makes you kind of want to dance because the beats are catchy, the melodies are catchy, but in reality, there is no substance to it. Now, that doesn't make it a bad thing per se, you know, because somebody could bring some substance to it if they really want to, but the Afrobeats kind of moves at such a fast pace to where you're not even really thinking about the lyrics. As long as it has a good beat, nice melodies, you know, and a good vibe, that it's a vibe. Afrobeats is a pure vibe. So I feel him on that. And I don't think he's capping with it, you know. He's telling the truth. And I know it was Afrobeat artists who got upset about it, but I mean, is he lying? Let me know in the comments what you think about that. Do you think that he was bullshitting about Afrobeats not having any substance? I think he was telling the truth, you know. It is what it is. But Afrobeats is a vibe. Like, I like playing Afrobeats, but I don't like playing it for a whole party. I wouldn't do that because I still feel like what we talked about last week. Hip hop is still that number one genre to make everybody get up, quote stuff, party, jam. There's no music like hip hop music. R&B as well. You got rock, you got country, but it's nothing like hip hop. And Lil Duval and different people said the Afrobeats are going to replace hip hop. I don't think that's the case. It's just a popular genre right now, you know. It's no telling if Afrobeats will be around next year because it has been pretty dominant this year, but it's a vibe. It's a vibe. I will say that. But let me move on and talk about your girl Asian Doll. So Asian Doll had this to say about 30-year-old rappers. Now, I'm assuming she was talking about aspiring rappers, right? Let me see if I can find exactly what she said. The tweet. Let me see. Asian Doll. Give me just a second. Okay, here you go. Let me share this with y'all. So, Asian Doll clowns anyone trying to rap over the age of 30. Now, that's why I said aspiring. So, Asian Doll has declared that anybody who is attempting to build a rap career over the age of 30 years old should actively reconsider their choice. And this is what she said right here, y'all. She said, trying to rap at 30 is crazy. And who's that? Snoop Dogg said, glad I ain't 30 no more. Fabo said, so what about rock country singers? This is what Fabo said. So what about rock country singers packing out stadiums and making millions at 80 years old? Why do we hate each other so much? Someone else said, OnlyFans at any age is crazy. Letting 30 rappers hit before 30 years old is brazy. All right, so she had some backlash from it, and from my understanding, she took the tweet down. But it go in my shout out to my homeboy Coop the Trio, because he made me and he inspired me to make this video. So thing is this, I feel like what Fabo said. See, the thing is now, hip hop has been always perceived and pushed as a young man's game. But years ago, Jay-Z, LL Cool J, Dr. Dre, hip hop it just turned 50 this year. So hip hop is still a young genre, but other genres, you don't hear about that. It's because of the way hip hop was marketed that you feel like you can't be 30 years old and try to pursue a rap career. If I was, and I'm 30 plus, but if I at this age tried to start a rock band, nobody would say anything. They would give me support. Oh, okay, you starting a rock band, okay. If I was this age and tried to start a gospel career, say I was 50 years old. If I was 50 and decided to start a gospel career, a gospel group, I formed my own gospel group, people wouldn't have nothing to say. They would support it, right? If I try to do country or any other genre, R&B, that's when it starts getting a little funny, but rap in particular, you're 30 years old, still trying to rap or whatever the case may be. But the thing is now, those rules don't apply anymore. There have been numerous rappers that have actually started their career. And when I say started their career, I'm talking about blew up, where we knew them at the age 30 plus. 2 Chainz was like 36 years old when everybody knew who 2 Chainz was. Now, I know he was out with Players Circle years prior, but everybody knew him. They didn't know Titty Boy back then. For real. I knew who he was because I'm a hardcore hip hop fan. But by the time he became 2 Chainz and had that name, that man was 36 years old. The best rappers sometimes come out at 30. Rick Ross came out at 30. Eminem was damn near 30 when he came out. Jay-Z was damn near 30, but there have been other rappers that came out at 30. Now, to Asian Doll's credit, to play devil's advocate, I feel like if you're 30 plus trying to start a rap career, you don't need to let that be the only thing that you're doing. You need to have some money. You need to have preferably some type of career going on or some way to get some money at 30 years old and not try to act like you're 21 or 22. My homeboy Coop the Trill said this. It's about how you do it, because right now we have the internet. You don't need a record label. Right now we have the internet. If you 50 years old and want to start rapping, you could have what we call our own church. A pastor has a church or a preacher has a church. That's his church. He can preach to them. They're going to come every Sunday. Because guess what? I don't like listening to rappers younger than 30, honestly. Just to be honest, I don't. They don't make the music that I like. Not saying I'm objecting to listening to their music, but their music don't appeal to me at 30 plus years old. I appeal, like what the music that appeals to me usually is from people that's older than me. I still will buy a Nas album in a heartbeat. I still will buy a Bone Thugs album in a heartbeat. I'll listen to Jay-Z. I'll listen to Dr. Dre album because they came out during my childhood and I always look up to them. And they can give me wisdom, give me game. I can get game from them. I'm getting something from them, or people my age, because they typically, if you're 30 plus, that means that you are 80s baby or grew up in the 90s, and we could talk about the same thing. We're going through the same thing. You could talk about being a father, being a husband, you know what I'm saying? Paying your taxes. You could talk about how it was back in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so much stuff that you could talk about at the age of 30 to where it's an even playing field for everybody. See, the record labels, and my homeboy Coop the Trill pointed this out, they like to push the hip hop as a young man's game so they could take advantage of you. It's easier to take advantage of a 21-year-old, 18, 21, 23, 24-year-old, you know, because they don't know the game like that, versus an artist who's 30 plus, has been out there in the streets and knows how everything works. And you're pretty much set in your ways when you're 30 plus. Think about relationships, right? Some men don't even like to date women over the age of 30 because they feel like they're set in their ways, vice versa, right? 30s, when you're 30 plus, you already know who, or you should know who you are as a person. Typically, you're established, and when I say established, not saying that you balling out of control, but you know, you're within your career. You know what career path you want to go into. You know thyself. You know what you like, what you don't like. You know, you're never too old to learn, but you're pretty much, you know who you're about to be for the rest of your life at the age of 30, right? They like jobs. When jobs are trying to hire somebody, they have jobs right now that says you have to be a college student. You have to be or about to graduate college, or a college grad, fresh out of college. Why wouldn't they want to hire anybody that's 35 years old? Because they could be like, okay, they might try to make us negotiate a salary and all this other stuff. So there's so many components that go into the age of 30 to where the industry would preferably want you to be younger. And that's why they say it's rap as a young man's game. So I disagree with Asian Dog completely. If you are aspiring artist at the age of 30 plus and you want to get your career off the ground, why not? We got TikTok and Reels. We got Instagram. We got all these sources out here to where you can hold your phone up, literally rap to it, and it could be thousands of people that like it. Now, like I said, have your paper together. You don't need to be out here moving like a 21-year-old or whatever like that, still staying with your parents. If you need to, okay, but that shouldn't be your only thing. Like if I ask you what your profession is, oh, I'm a rapper. Like, come on, bro. You need to do more than that. Have your business together. Have your money right. I feel that may be where Asian Doll was coming from, but we don't look at 30-plus-year-old rappers as goofy if you're trying to do that, because it's something for everybody. You could be 60 years old. That's the 60-year-old rapper right there. And if you spitting, you spitting. You could go viral. So yeah, I don't agree with that at all. I'd rather listen to 30-plus-year-old rappers like Benny the Butcher and Griselda, right? Griselda, they all 30 plus. I didn't know who Benny the Butcher was until like a couple of years ago when I started hearing them and stuff like that. Like, they're like the younger version of the Locks, but Benny the Butcher is like 36, 37, 38 maybe. I don't know. The whole Griselda though. And they showed you that you can be 30 plus. Hip hop is the only genre that promotes that, oh, you got to be young type of stuff. Like it ain't like that no more. It ain't like that no more. And like I said, if I was 30 plus and wanted to do a rock band or a gospel group or something like that, or a gospel singer, wouldn't nobody be saying nothing. So that just goes to show you, man, it's hip hop. So I disagree with her completely on that. But y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about that. Another thing I want to cover, man, Ghostface Killer said this, and it was real interesting. Ghostface Killer said that Nas's Rewind is the best hip hop storytelling track of all time. Now, I forgot who was interviewing him or whatever, but he said that that's the best one. And I have to agree. Now I know it's some people in the comments that are gonna say, nah, hell no, this is that, you know. But I got a list of what I feel like are some of the best ones. But I do feel like, based off of the creativity of Rewind alone, I've never heard a rap track like that. For those who haven't heard Rewind, that is on Nas's album, critically acclaimed album, Stillmatic. And it's a storytelling track in reverse. Literally. Like as he's rapping it, you can visual, like with the sound effects and all that, you can visually see, you hear it, but you can see everything what happened. It all happened to where he was chilling with a chick, just got some head from her or whatever. You got to hear it, man. And then it goes back, like the way he was rapping, it went back. And I tried to write a song to that, and it just didn't go right. I was like, man, that's hard. The Game even tried to do that on one of his albums. But basically, he rapped a storytelling track in reverse. One of the dopest records of all time, if not the dopest hip-hop storytelling track. That's why I'm not disagreeing with him. I feel like he got a point. What other rap storytelling track is like that? Tell me. Let me know in the comments what you think is better than Nas's Rewind. Now, Nas got some other storytelling tracks, but I think that may be the best one. But I came up with a list, actually, and I wrote it down, of some of my favorite storytelling tracks. Now, one for sure is Nas's I Gave You Power, and that's when he's rapping as if he was a gun. Dope. Ice Cube, Today Was a Good Day. That is one of the most popular storytelling tracks. That shit was so hard. I love Today Was a Good Day. Always puts me in a good mood. I love the story. Damn, didn't even have to use my AK. Today Was a Good Day. He talked about how he smashed a girl he wanted to smash since the 12th grade. Dope record. Tupac's Brenda's Got a Baby. Dope storytelling track. One of my favorites. I love Brenda's Got a Baby. Slick Rick's Children's Story. That was a dope record, and a lot of people will regard that as like one of the best telling hip-hop storytelling tracks for sure. That beat alone, and Montel Jordan took it even further when he did it. He sampled on This Is How We Do It. So Slick Rick's Children's Story. Ghetto Boys, Mind Playing Tricks on Me. Oh my God, man. Groundbreaking, man. That's such a classic storytelling track from 3 verses. You know, Bushwick Bill, Willie D, and Scarface. And then the video made it even better. But that's one of the best storytelling tracks. That might be right under Rewind for me, honestly. Might be. Bone Thugs and Harmony's Down 71 Getaway. People be sleeping on that track. Down 71 The Getaway off of East 1999 Eternal. Cray, Lay, and Busy went in on that track. You know, that you know, it just had it. They're rapping fast, so you may not be able to catch everything, but they told a story. They told us they had a storytelling track, and I wish that Bone would have kept that going because they didn't do storytelling tracks on none of their albums like that no more. Solo wise, they may have done it solo wise, but not group. So I wish Bone would do another Down 71 Getaway. We need that from y'all. We really need that from y'all. Then Eminem Stan, oh my God. Stan is one of the best hip-hop storytelling tracks of all time. Of course, I don't even have to say nothing about that. You already know how that track is, man. It's remarkable. But those are some of my favorite ones. Let me say them again. Nas, I Gave You Power. Ice Cube, Today Was a Good Day. Tupac's Brenda's Got a Baby. Slick Rick's A Children's Story. Ghetto Boys, Mind Playing Tricks on Me. Bone Thugs, Down 71 The Getaway, and Eminem Stan. And of course, Nas's Rewind. But y'all let me know in the comments, what are your favorite hip-hop storytelling tracks ever of all time? And a couple more things before I get up out of here, man. So, shout out to Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown, who signed the biggest NBA contract of all time, from my understanding. Highest paid, I know that for sure. I think he getting like 300 million. He supports Ice Cube's Big 3, which is a black-owned sports franchise. And you know, it's the Big 3 basketball. But he actually, over the weekend, they had their All-Star game in addition to their championship game. And Jaylen Brown is the first active NBA player to play in a Big 3 basketball game. Now, he's not competing in it, but he actually played in the All-Star game. And it's remarkable, it's groundbreaking, and it's history-making simply because, you know, Ice Cube has got a war going on with the NBA. Why? He doesn't know. The NBA has been trying to blackball him, doing shady business practices, you know, all that other stuff, throwing stuff his way. But Ice Cube has stayed on point. And he made a statement, man. He got Jaylen Brown. That's the highest paid NBA player currently in of all time. And he's an active NBA player. That's what you call support, ladies and gentlemen. Supporting each other. That's what we need more of. So salute to Jaylen Brown. I respect him so much because young dude, he said that he's going to try to build a Black Wall Street around America, I think. Not just in Boston, but around America. So I really want to applaud Jaylen Brown for showing support to Ice Cube because he came to the Big 3 game, but I didn't know that a couple of weeks later he was going to be playing in the All-Star game as an active NBA player. So yeah, man, shout out to Jaylen Brown. One more thing. Everybody, all my NE fans, New Edition fans, Michael Bivens of the legendary New Edition and Belle Biv DeVoe. He has a documentary out that's on All Black. I think that's what it's called. And you can get that on Amazon Prime. But it's a good documentary, man. It shows you that he was a slept-on music mogul. So make sure that you check that out, man. He's responsible of the careers of Boyz II Men. He's responsible of the careers of 702. ABC, Another Bad Creation. He put them on, man. And he was a good label owner, you know. And he was doing it before everybody. Jay-Z had gave him a shout out. It's a real remarkable documentary. I didn't know that he was the first one, or New Edition actually brung in basketball, celebrity basketball games into the culture. So that's what's up, man. I learned a lot. Still learning a lot about everybody. But yeah, man, check out Michael Bivens' documentary right now. Well, I ain't gonna say right now because you're watching Red's View, but check it out once I get finished, man, when you get a chance or whatever like that. All right. So that has been this week's show of Red's View. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. So grateful, and I am so appreciative for everybody who tunes in every week, everybody who shares my videos from YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, and you retweet it. That's nothing but love. Make sure that you continue to do that. Make sure that you subscribe to youtube.com/Red's View and follow me on all social media platforms at JAYR3D. That's Threads, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all the whole 9 yards. But anyway, y'all, this has been J Red, Red's View, and I'm signing out.